Look at this. 42,000. It's confirmed.
My God.
Before I tell you how a $42,000 transfer turned into the quietest revenge of my life, do me one favor, like this video, subscribe, and tell me in the comments whether you would have gone back after what my family did, because by the time the string quartet started playing in Bath, half their guests were already watching clips of my lights glittering across Bristol Harbor. And that was the moment I understood something brutal. I had sent my family $42,000 to stage a party they didn't even want me to attend. And now the people they needed were walking out to find me instead. My name is Evelyn Carter. I was 36 and my life in London looked settled enough that my family treated my stability like shared property. My mother, Margaret, called when something needed paying for. My stepfather, Alan, called when something had gone wrong. My younger brother, Theo, called when he wanted help presented as loyalty. I had learned to keep boundaries, but I had not learned how to stop hoping that one day helping them would feel like love instead of extraction. Then Theo got engaged to Lucinda Ashcroft, a polished, socially perfect woman from Bath, and my family decided their engagement party had to look like a magazine spread. The venue was the assembly rooms, and every detail was treated like a measure of family worth. Then the numbers fell apart. A supplier wanted full payment early. Alan's money got delayed, and the entire event began wobbling under the weight of appearances. My mother called me on a wet Tuesday morning, already crying. She said Theo was spiraling. Lucinda's parents were starting to ask questions, and if the party failed, it would damage everything before the wedding had even begun. Then she said the sentence that had trapped me since childhood: "You're the only one who can fix this without humiliating us." I asked how much. She hesitated. $42,000. I stared at the steam rising from my kettle and felt my whole body tense. $42,000 was not a favor. It was the kind of number that changes how you remember people. I should have refused, I knew that. But she kept talking about family, healing, unity, loyalty. Then Theo texted me himself, "Please, Ev, just this once." And there it was again, the old trap, the belief that if I gave enough, they might finally treat me like I belonged instead of like I was useful. So I opened my laptop, checked the balance 3 times, and sent the wire. I remember the confirmation bar sliding across the screen and the foolish flash of pride that came with it. For a little while, I let myself think I had done something noble. 2 days later, my mother called again, speaking in that careful voice people use when they want to deliver cruelty without admitting it is cruelty. "Darling," she said, "we've all been thinking, and it may be best if you don't come on Saturday." I went so still I could hear the clock over my stove. Then she explained. Lucinda's parents wanted the evening intimate. Alan thought there had been too much history lately. Theo worried guests would ask questions about why I had missed Christmas, and whether there was still awkwardness after the argument over my grandmother's estate. They didn't want tension. That word landed like ice. Tension, as if I were some emotional hazard rather than the woman who had just financed the chandeliers, the quartet, the champagne, and the illusion of family harmony. I asked, "So my money is welcome?" "But I'm not." My mother sighed. "Please don't be dramatic." That was the moment something in me hardened in exactly the right way. I did not cry. I did not beg. I said, understood, and ended the call. Then I sat at my kitchen island staring at the transfer receipt until the numbers blurred. What came next was not anger, it was clarity. I called the bank to make sure the transfer had settled completely and could not be reversed. It had. Fine. I did not want the money back. I wanted the lesson to stay expensive. Then I stopped trying to earn my place and started planning. By evening I had booked a glass-walled vessel in Bristol Harbor called the Lantern Deck. I called a caterer in Clifton, hired a jazz trio, arranged cars from Bath every 40 minutes, and wrote one simple invitation. "I'm hosting a private supper for the people who have loved me without conditions. If you've ever made my life lighter, come and eat with me by the water." I sent it to cousins who had shown up for me when my family had not, old neighbors from Bristol, my university mentor, to aunts who never made affection feel transactional, and Theo's godmother. I never mentioned the engagement party. I didn't need to. By Thursday afternoon, the family WhatsApp chat had turned strange and nervous. Theo called first, furious. "What exactly are you doing?" I said. "Hosting dinner." He asked how I could do that on his weekend, and I told him, "The weekend belongs to the calendar." "Theo, not to you." Alan tried the reasonable voice he used when he wanted to sound civil while being threatening. He said I was creating an ugly situation. I asked whether uglier situations included taking a woman's money and then removing her chair. My mother tried guilt, tears, and social panic. "People will talk," she said. "Good," I answered. "Silence is how this family gets away with everything." Saturday arrived bright and windless. One of those English summer evenings that makes every stone building look expensive. Photos from Bath started appearing by late afternoon. cream roses, polished silver. Theo in a tailored suit, Lucinda in pale blue silk. My mother smiling beside a champagne tower I had basically financed. I looked once, then put my phone face down and dressed in a black satin suit that made me feel less like somebody's daughter and more like the owner of my own life. When I got to the lantern deck, the harbor was glowing, every table held candles, and handwritten place cards with one line from me about why that guest mattered. I wanted everyone who walked in to feel the exact opposite of what my family had given me. The first person to arrive was Aunt Celia, who kissed my cheeks and whispered, "About time someone taught them that money is not love." Then the room filled my old English teacher, Cousin Marianne, and her husband, the couple who had lived next door to us in Bristol, my mentor from university, family friends who had watched me carry everyone else. For years, no one needed the full explanation. They could feel the story in the room. We ate, laughed, and listened to the jazz trio play against the sound of the water. Halfway through dinner, I stood up and made one short toast. "Tonight is not revenge," I said. "It is a correction." I wanted one evening where everyone here is here because they want me here, not because I paid to make it easier. The silence that followed was the good kind, the kind that means truth has landed. Then glasses rose all around me. Around 7:30, the messages began. Bath was stiff. Lucinda's father had given a speech so long it felt like a board meeting. 2 tables had already emptied. Then came a video of guests stepping into the cars I had arranged, women lifting their dresses, men loosening their ties, everyone suddenly laughing like they had been released from something. By 8:15, the upper deck of the lantern deck was full. People were filming the harbor lights and the jazz. Someone posted, "Better energy here." Then I saw the image that told me everything. My mother standing at the entrance in Bath, smiling to hard while checking her phone again and again, watching the evening she had staged so carefully lose its center of gravity. A little after 9, Theo texted me, "You've made your point. People are leaving. Come back so we can fix this." I read it twice and felt something I had never felt around my family before. Nothing, no guilt, no panic, no need to rescue them from the consequences of what they had chosen, just peace. For years I had imagined that walking away would feel like grief. Instead, it felt like taking off shoes that had been cutting me for years. I wrote back one sentence, "I didn't destroy your party. I just stopped funding my own exile." Then I locked my phone and went upstairs where the night air smelled of river water and summer wine. Someone handed me a glass, someone else pulled me into a photo. I laughed without checking whether anyone approved. That was a real turning point. Not that their guests left, not that my mother panicked, but that I no longer wanted anything from them that cost me my dignity. In the weeks that followed, my mother sent messages about betrayal. Alan called me vindictive. Theo demanded an apology, and Lucinda sent a short note saying she finally understood more than she had been told. I did not argue with any of them. I changed who got to reach me, went back to therapy, and spent Christmas in Edinburgh with friends who never made me feel like an invoice with a pulse. And now, when I think about that $42,000, I do not think of it as a night I lost money. I think of it as the last expensive ticket I ever bought to a room that did not want me. That transfer hurt, but it also ended the lie. It taught me that love you have to purchase is not love, that family without respect is just history with access. And that sometimes the sharpest revenge is refusal to beg, refusal to explain, refusal to keep shrinking so other people can feel comfortable standing on you. My life is quieter now, smaller from the outside and infinitely richer where it matters. There is peace in it, there is choice in it, there is no seat I have to earn. And if you ask me what that $42,000 really bought me, the answer is simple. It bought me the truth, and the truth gave me back myself.